Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another EPL match where we have a lot of similar players but a couple new ones. Bans were KT and the Lost Vikings, so we won't be seeing them. It is Garden of Terror, so it makes a lot of sense to ban them out here. And the first pick, quite unsurprisingly, is Thrall. Thrall, very strong, very tough to deal with, very well sustained thanks to the recent thanks to the scaling changes, so he works out really nicely in pretty much any game you throw him in. So, in the meantime, red team, they need their first picks, and what we usually see here, Falstad is available. This is a large map, he can get a lot of soak in that way, so can do quite well. Zagara, also very strong, just an incredible solo laner. Devouring Maw is a ridiculously good ability. And Tyrande coming back in. So, like we said, she's maybe not ban-worthy, but she's still very high on the pick order in these games nowadays. Gleamshock, Kurulu, Hydra, Thunder still need to select their heroes. We'll wait to see what kind of picks we're going to get. And like we said, Falstad's still available. They don't have to really pick their support, but if they wanted to, they could bring out the Tassadar pretty quickly. And that wouldn't be such a huge deal because it would be very strong and helpful with the Thrall. But they might want to save their support pick in case they want an Uther, depending on what the rest of red team are picking up here. So we'll keep an eye on it. There is that Falstad we were talking about. Very good, can build his stacks, do a lot of damage. And we can see that Dreamshock bringing out the Muradin once again. A lot of heavy tankiness there and a lot of damage. Apparently there's a banner patch for him coming out today, or at least he's included in it, but I am not aware of it. By the time you guys see this, it will have been a couple of days ago, so I am in the know. I am unknown and you guys do know, so that's interesting. Red team still need warriors, still need probably an auto attack focus, a Reyna, maybe a Jaina, someone like that. Jaina's still available, but yeah, Jaina following up on a Maw would be pretty strong, especially seeing as Dreamshock's able to take that Muradin instead of follow-up burst damage. Would be pretty strong if they let him available. They take the Reyna. They could go for triple range damage dealer, so we could, like I said, still see a Jaina out of them. But they do need at least one warrior, and it is going to be the Stitches that they pick up. So now, blue team, Jaina left available for them so that they can take it and do a lot of burst damage. They already have a lot of crowd control to start off with. And now they just are going to get even more follow-up. And then they do need a support. That is, if they want the Jaina, they could just be going for the Thrall and the Falstad. Maybe they want a Bruiser. Maybe someone like... maybe they want a Bruiser, second Warrior maybe. And just focus down that way. But they do already have the Thrall, who fills mostly that Bruiser melee assassin role. So they shouldn't really need that. So... just the question of what they pick. They already have the two heroes that, in my opinion, counter Stitches the most. If they had Uther, then they would have Uther and Tassadar. They would have all four, sorry. There is a Vala and a Kharazim. Kharazim also very good against Stitches, as the fact he can actually get out himself. Like, Uther counters it for the rest of his team. Kharazim actually has a chance of getting out himself as well, and still is really useful at helping to deal with Stitches. So, very nice choice there. And it's Diablo, the double warrior composition, coming in from red team to finish it up. So, single warrior, the Muradin coming in from blue team, whereas double warrior, that Diablo Stitches, very heavy stun comp. Diablo Tyrande roaming squad, Stitches Tyrande roaming squad, lot of potential damage. Zagara and Reyna both very good on the single target focus, so we're going to see a bit of a sniper comp coming in from the red team. Whereas blue team, very much on sustain and tankiness throughout. And I'm going to disappear so that we can get this going. CTR Wilson, thank you very much for the follow. So we're just going to wait for the players to load in, and we will get this game underway. So, wait for it. There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garden of Terror. I'm Tetcher. I'm bringing you this EPL game, and spawning on the left-hand side. Oh, naughty Krolu playing the Valor. He is silenced. Falstad is being played by ZW Hydra. Kharazim is being played by Thunder. Muradin being played by Dreamshock, and Thrall being played by Uberim. Whereas on the right-hand side, it's our red team playing the Tyrande. It's AR. The Stitches being played by Lassive. Diablo being played by Kreku. Zagara being played by Bad Benny. And Reyna being played by Nathan. I'm Tetcher, going to bring you this EPL game. Neither team going for a minion block at the start here. Both just taking control. Owl does get a good hit onto Hydra. And he did take it power, so we just actually get the 2-second reduction there, even without Pierce. So Cooldowns are cooldowns, and reduced cooldowns are always nice. Early talents, not anything really out of the ordinary. It's Soul Feast on the Diablo, so getting that extra health regen per second on his souls. Reconstitution from the Zagara, Seasoned Marksman on the Rainer and the Fast Dead. Pretty much everything in the ordinary, including the composite arrows from the Valor, so she can get a bit of AoE damage, which she's currently using in the top lane to counter Zagara. Thunder and Dream Shock turning onto Diablo, doing as much damage as they can. They now also have Uberim, who's heading up to the top lane, as now they know where Zagara is. And Thrall is the one who can deal with Zagara the easiest, even frozen a Wolf to try and get her. Wolf is way off, but Uberim at least is now in this lane and can try and deal with Zagara a bit. However, with the with the Diablo and the Tyrande here, Krolu is returning to the lane to at least help drive that back with a good multi-shot and a lot of focus damage onto Kraku. So for now, first tower going down in that top lane, and we're going to see Diablo and Tyrande back up. And they will likely continue their roam. No, it looks like they're going to attempt another go on Uberim or Krolu. There they go. Circling around a little bit. They can try gank from the side, or they might even attempt to get Muradin, who's still chilling here at the moment. In the meantime, bot lane has been dominated by blue team. Hydra and Thunder easily able to take down Nathan. Look at this. Krolu taking the very safe route around so that he's not get caught out. Uberim continuing to stay up here to continue soaking all that XP. And Krolu arriving in bot lane to help his team out, who are doing all their focus onto the bot lane. Dreamshock and Lassive still soaking up the mid lane as best they can, getting XP for their team. And Arena in trouble, gets taken out by Hydra and Krolu. So that is going to be first blood going over to the blue team. Uberim still up here. He's thrown down a lot of lightning, doing a lot of harassment, and kept himself quite sustained. Still needs to be careful with the stuns, but he's still getting XP for his team. Red team, blue team, in fact, soaking all three lanes and are able to get a lot of the seeds from here. If they go for the Terror, then they'll have been able to soak all three lanes and get all three lanes worth of experience. Diablo actually getting rooted by the Terror. Uberim going very aggressive, going to try and take it down. The stun on Uberim does not land. Tyrande missing, and they get Diablo for the kill. Dreamshot coming in for AR, but in comes the rest of red team as reinforcements. Terror will go down as Dreamshot going to come in. He gets rooted. He was trying to come in and steal some seeds, but instead has suicided, and he gets taken out. Hooked just misses Uberim, and very unfortunate play by the Muradin there. Unable to get the seeds that he wanted thanks to that Terror route. But, however, blue team in the bot lane were able to pick up all the seeds there. So it's a 90 to 90. So Neba team going to be able to get their Terror to start with. We see the healing ward coming in from Karazim, able to do a lot of AoE damage if placed correctly, especially near these Terror fights, which is pretty useful. Kraku and AR continuing to roam around the map looking for their opportunity. Uberim very low on mana, so needs to be very careful. He could get caught out quite quickly here. Coming quite far forward, in comes Kraku, tackles him into the wall, gets the flip. Can they finish him off? The Balings and the Hunter Killer are enough. Lassive even coming up for good measure, but he was not required. In the meantime, blue team were able to steal that camp. Falstad coming up to top lane as it has been left unattended, and they need to soak XP. He's gone for the standard build of that power throw compared to what we saw Jella. Oh, no, wait, that was the game that was cancelled. We didn't get to see the end of that one. But Jella actually went Flow Rider, so we saw a little bit of something interesting. Nice stun from Dreamshock to prevent Kraku from the tackle. Actually, it just interrupted the tackle, so didn't even get to see it. Didn't even get to reuse it there. So Dreamshock surviving in this lane very efficiently, and there is level 7 for both teams. We see the Envenom on the Thrall as opposed to the extra lightning hit. And here they come, moving in, doing as much damage as they can, trying to poke down Kraku, but Krolu gets hooked in. The overpowered, though, just getting him out of there. Kraku actually just giving him freedom, and we do see Krolu able to survive this and continue to poke that healing ward, healing him back up very efficiently. Other talents, we see Soul Feast, the extra health coming in for, we see the extra health coming in for the Diablo. Thunder and Krolu moving down to the bot lane, going to be poking Nathan. Nathan, though, really able to counter that with a very good Q and some good auto attacks. He has his Revolution Overdrive for the extra speed. Endless creep on Zagara so that she can make it even harder to gank her, as if it wasn't hard enough already. That creep spreading out. In comes the engagement, but Krolu not hit by AR's follow-up stun. Able to stay alive. He's going to be back to get some health. Thunder to hold the lane right now. Krolu backing up to a much safer position. In case, yep, exactly that happens. Decides to stay in lane, in fact. Thunder gets knocked over, but there was no follow-up stun from AR this time. It was still on cooldown, in fact, as he tried to use it in the backline to snipe Krolu. Krolu chasing very far forward there. Very risky maneuver, but that's that multi-shot build, so he's able to poke from range. Uberim continuing to duel with Bad Benny, not getting too much out of this. And Lasciv has been left a bit unattended. Muradin has been in and out of this lane, but he has been soaking quite well. Zagara taken down in the top lane. Lasciv moving up to soak this lane. Just doing quite a bit of damage. In comes Hydra, getting hooked, taking a lot of damage. Oberdock, thank you very much for the follow. And Hydra able to survive. Muradin, Krolu, and Thunder able to all pull back to the Bruiser camp to try and take that down before the plants do spawn, as both teams should, in theory, be able to get a Terror out of this. And they're going to be able to clear this up pretty easily. Falstad flying back to the mid lane once again, so he doesn't miss any XP. Bot lane XP, they are going to lose like a minion or two, but won't be too bad. A little bit of lag there. Dreamshock going to be able to pick up that Bruiser camp pretty easily. Lasciv continuing to soak here. Red team doing a little better job of soaking right now, and as such, they've been able to hit their level 10s about the same time, despite having a kill disadvantage. We do see the Strafe coming in from the Valor, the Mighty Gust from Falstad, Divine Palm, Karazim, Avatar, Muradin, and the Sundering on the Thrall. Whereas on the right side, we see the Shadow Stalk from the Tyrande, Putrid Bile on the Stitches, Apocalypse on Diablo, the Devouring Maw, that old-fashioned combo on the Zagara, and we have the Hyperion from Reyna. So we're going to see both teams just focusing down a Terror each, and both will grab their Terror. The red Terror already taken. They wasted no time in picking theirs up, and they're going to use it to clear this bottom wave and then to push up as best they can. They've already taken down one tower, so it will not take too long to push even further. Blue team just focusing on a minion wave, and Thrall being sent back to grab that plant Terror and just charge through. The Maw catches Karazim here. He does have Palm up, so he will be able to use that to save himself if he needs to. Dashes to Krolu, takes a bit of damage, gets engaged by Kraku, but he gets out. Very well played there by Thunder, keeping himself alive. This Terror in the bot lane still doing as much work, but Hydra has been poking it best he can. Mighty Gusting it just to delay it as long as possible, but in comes Nathan as reinforcements, and that will force Hydra to take the long way around back to basing a lot of damage. He actually turns around onto Nathan because reinforcements are coming in, and Nathan gets wiped. Very well played there. Very nice move via Hydra and his team. We're going to see Thunder, Krolu, and Hydra begin to work on Lasciv, pushing him out of here to keep control. Uberim, in the meantime, on the blue team Terror, has been bullying top lane a bit, but he's being 3 versus 1 just a little, so he's having quite a hard time here, whereas Lasciv, like we said, is continuing to run between mid and bot lane, doing his best work as he can. The bottom 4 still alive, but we're going to see a bit of a Terror scuffle as Lasciv is about to expire, so he's just doing as much damage to blue team's Terror as possible, making it really easy for his team to take it down. Dreamshock is actually in once again, Dwarf Toss on point from Dreamshock here, able to get himself out of the tough position. Thunder, Krolu, and Hydra getting the hell out of dodge, but Lasciv coming in. Looks like he may attempt a hook here on Falstad, but does not land it. Kraker, on the other hand, going straight in for the tackle and puts himself in a really tough position, taking a lot of damage, and he goes down. The Apocalypse, though, in position, hits Karazim, Divine Palm onto Muradin, who's already danced over, but unfortunately that leaves the Valor completely undefended, and that turns from a 1-0 into a 1-for-1 trade for both teams, and both teams hit level 13 at about the same time. We see Overflowing Light on the Tyrande. It was nerfed a bit recently, but still is pretty effective in terms of damage. The Relentless on Stitches, very good considering they're up against a Muradin and a Thrall. There's the hook onto Dreamshock. He has to pop Avatar to keep himself alive, but it gets so much damage. It gets killed off by roaches from the sky. And he's able to take down that damage. So, we have that taken over. In the meantime, we have Giant Killers from both of the ranged assassins here doing a lot of damage to Zagara with that Hydralisk, the Mutalisk, sorry, and the Brood expansion likely on level 16. Thrall did take that Grace of Air, that extra Frostwolf resilience on his level 13, so can get a lot of healing out of it. Hook does not land. And Red Team are going to be able to get this forward, and that is actually, considering how much the pressure the Terror has been, the second fort of the game. They were able to grab bot a while ago, and somehow Red Team's fort was able to survive up in this top lane, was able to tank a lot of the damage. Knight about to start again. Once again, teams completely even on XP, and Red Team are about to get the third fort of the game, or at least they're trying to. Dreamshot coming in to prevent this. They're engaging onto him. Stun lands onto Diablo, though. Mighty Gust for good measure. Strafe doing a lot of damage to Putrid Bile, trying to zone out heroes, using the Devour to tank a lot. Thrall getting focused down, but he's able to take down Kraku with the huge amount of damage he does. Zagara was not here for this fight, and as such it was a 4 versus 5, and blue team able to take control. Red team not giving up without a fight though. They're going to take as many seeds as they can, but they need to get out of here. They can't afford to fight blue team, but they stayed too long. Lastly, getting focused, but Relentless allows him to get out of there. Looks like they're willing to turn it again though. Despite Zagara still not being there, looks like they're finally just going to leave it and move to the bot lane. Zagara getting all of the seeds in this bot lane though, so this actually came out better a bit for blue team as they were able to, for red team as they were able to get at least a couple of the seeds in this top lane. Now, if red team can get this Terra, then they're going to be in a very good position. Both teams have Terras ready, and they're trying to focus it down. Blue team finished off the top one, and they're probably not going to get to bot lane in time. They're going to at least circle around and start to clear the minion waves. Red team has already picked up their Terra. Blue team just picking up theirs. So red team making just a beeline down the mid lane to join up with their team, whereas blue team rolling down the bot lane a little. Lassive is the one in the red Terra, the blue Terra taken by Uberim. He's using it to clear lanes at the moment, does not want to use it to push. It's a bit aggressive. There we go, Uberim getting focused down. That Hunter's Mark from Tyrande doing so much damage. Lassive in the back line just wailing on this Terra, actually just wiping it out so quickly. And Uberim, in the first couple seconds of his Terra, is on only a bit of his health left, whereas Lassive still has loads. He'll have his bulb ready in a second again, so he'll be able to use that to help push us in. Hyperion for good measure, doing so much damage in this lane. Lassive just charging through here to tank up. Kreku coming in onto Dream Shock. There's the polymorph. Krolu with the huge damage from that strafe in the backline, suddenly getting focused by Nathan. Also give to back up. He blood for bloods though, and gets most of his health back from that Terra. AR getting focused out. He's a bit out of position. The Maw protects him though. The Apocalypse though, just out of time to combo with that Maw, and now we're seeing Kreku getting focused by Dream Shock. He's backing out. The Terra, which is still alive despite being low health, has come in for a backdoor, and red team's Terra is already dead. So suddenly we're in a situation where blue team has a Terra when red team do not. Lassive hooking at Dream Shock. Not sure that's a good idea. And Uberim is still chasing Tyrande there. One more hit. No, the heal might be enough to keep AR alive. Polymorph does hit him again, but the auto is just a little bit unresponsive. One more hit and AR will die. Once again, heals himself to keep himself alive and try and keep himself, and he does get taken down. Uberim in this Terra though will pop out thanks to that Mutalisk, and he is able to survive the Thundering catches Stitches though, but the Relentless keeps him alive actually. He pushed him away, and Valor gets hooked in, takes a lot of damage from the keep, and Rain is able to pick up the kill. And that is a very nice turnaround by red team from what looked like a really ugly fight when that second Terra came in from the backline. Very nice ambush, and blue team going to be in full retreat. They're a 1-for-1 trade actually, but at the end they're just pulling in a Siege Giant, just making sure that that's not being done, and to try and catch anyone who was. He was trying for a body block there, but didn't even leave enough room, so I doubt he would have been able to get the trap. In the meantime, we are seeing red team starting on the Bruiser camp, whereas blue team taking the Siege Giants first. They'll now be able to use that blue. They'll now be able to move on to the Bruiser camp afterwards, and red team onto the Siege Giants. We're just seeing the same thing, just in a slightly different order from the teams, except for Falstad, however, who's in the bot lane, soaking up XP and seasoned marksman stacks, currently with 26. Raider, he is on 23, so he's a little bit behind in terms of extra damage, but both of these heroes do a lot of damage, and level 16s, like we said, are available. We saw Fishing Hook a bit earlier on. Karazim with that Circle of Life, and a very sneaky move here by red team, stealing away the easy camp. Muradin looks like he wants to maybe try something similar with red team's easy camp. Going to start it straight away, but Hydra is nearby here and is actually going to get the fort. Here comes the rest of blue team, so they're going to be able to get the fort and then move up to finish off this camp. However, red team, using their camps to their advantage, are just annihilating this bot lane. The Siege Giants for red team for blue team are about to come available once they take them, and there you go. So there's mercenaries pushing this lane as well, but they don't have the heroes to support them because everyone went B to defend against this incredible push because the wall is already gone here. Hook lands on Karazim, follow-up stun, annihilates him. Palm keeps him alive though, and he dashes to the Falstad and escapes. Mighty Gust for good measure, and very well played by blue team, keeping Karazim alive there. The Owl does a lot of damage though. It's a full Owl build from the Tyrande. Stun lands onto the Valor. In comes the Apocalypse, catches Thrall and Muradin in the back line, but now we're seeing Diablo getting focused down. The Maw keeps him alive though. Sundering does so much damage. Strafe and the heal from Tyrande. Kraken, who stays alive in the backline. No one dead on either team. Yet finally we see Thrall get taken down by Nathan. He gets his self-heal. He's trying to chase down Krolu, and Hydra gets Hydra. Krolu able to escape, though Dreamshock misses his stun, and the Avatar is now ward off. Red team do not have the health to end the game, though. They have to back up, especially due to the fact that the mercenary camps have pushed through the bottom lane and are now beginning to pressure the keep. But they are about to get taken out. Actually, there's a catapult in this lane, so that will be able to poke from range, and it's just Siege Giant left. Diablo was taken down here, but in exchange we're seeing Falstad and Valor get taken down. Lassive dropping super low, so is Raider. His heal is not off cooldown. 7 seconds left, he gets taken out. Nice job by Dreamshock and Thunder here. Thunder turning on to Lassive. They're having a bit of a trade. That transcendence there from the Kharazim, keeping him alive very nicely. They're able to pick up the kills. Bad Benny, though, picking up a lot of seeds. He's getting out of there, though. He wants nothing to do with the 2 heroes that are alive for Blue Team. However, Dreamshock wants a lot to do with him. He finds Bad Benny. Bad Benny pings for Muradin pings for assistance. He wants help. Stuns Bad Benny, trying to take him out. He does not have that bonus single target. Yes, he does. Sorry, he's able to get up the kill, and that is a full team wipe by Blue Team. Falstad immediately flying to the bot lane and gaining control, taking a huge set of seeds for his team, and this will give Blue Team a massive advantage, especially if they can deny all of the seeds to Red Team, because Red Team are very close to their own Terror. We're going to see top Terror getting taken halfway down, so we see the huge split here. Thrall and Falstad working down that bot one, and looks like they may actually get it. They're going to be able to get both Terrors here, and all of the C's denying any form of Terror to the Red Team, and that is devastating, and this will even give Blue Team a second Terror once their first one is done. This one is available. They should probably pick that up at some point. They'll get round to it. Krolu looks like he's going to be the one. No, he's being back to base. They still have 39 seconds. And look at that, 135 seeds left over once they have taken this. So once they've taken this, they'll have another Terror straight afterwards. So they're going to have a huge amount of positive potential here and a massive advantage. They need to pay attention to that top lane, however, which has catapults. Same with bot lane, mid lane. Very broken here. So they're going to push as 5. Hydra being back. He can fly to join his team. Uberim going very aggressive. There's only 1 fort left, so he's going for that. Going to keep the pressure on it, throwing down a bulb to distract the Red Team. But the full team of Blue Team here, Hook just misses. There's the polymorph so that Uberim can get a better angle here. But Nathan is already there and already hits Uberim back. Owl for a little bit of damage. Catches Dreamshock and the Terror here. They're beginning to push in. Once again, another bulb that does get taken down very quickly. But they're beginning to push in very aggressively. The healing ward is down for the rest of Blue Team that is in the backline. Hyperion will kill that off, though. Actually, no, it doesn't. It apparently doesn't attack healing wards. That's good to know. So Uberim pulling back with the Terror. They're doing... Red Team are all alive here, so they're doing a very good job of clearing up these bulbs. However, this is going to be a really awkward angle for them to attack. Looks like they're all going to rush that bulb, whereas the rest of Blue Team are going to try and push this keep. But Uberim, once again, getting stunned up by that bullseye of Nathan. Nathan really owning this challenge to a great effect on Uberim, making it very difficult for him to counter. And we're seeing Uberim pushing in there. Once again, the bulb taken out. Hydra gets hooked in, though. He tries to barrel roll away, but gets pulled in again via that overpower. Krolu dodging out the Maw, but it does catch Kharazim. In comes the Apocalypse, and that will not combo. They managed to mistime it again. Divine Palm is used, Sundering via Thrall to try and give Thunder a chance. But Uberim having to bolt away. Thunder not having another dash. Uberim gets pulled back in. Dreamshock in the backline doing so much damage. Thunder does get out, but Uberim was not so lucky. That's 2 kills going over to Red Team. They're looking really strong at the moment. They're actually going to push them with this, and they're at least going to try and catch Thunder. Lassive not giving up without a fight. This actually went quite badly for him last time he tried to chase Kharazim, but he needs to be careful. He gets outnumbered. Surprise Krolu from behind with the blood for blood, and Lassive gets annihilated. And Red Team, suddenly, from the position where they had a 3-man advantage, are now, a 2-man advantage, now only have a 1-man advantage. They're trying to catch Dreamshock, who's just been causing mayhem in the backline. But Dreamshock, on the run, he's mounted up and he escapes. Terror available for Blue Team. Again, it's finally respawned, and they're ready to use it to defend in this case. Muradin actually just being back to base first. And looks like they may just leave this for Thrall. It has 40 seconds. It takes 3 seconds to catch her. And Thrall is back in 15. So he will be completely fine to grab this himself. And this gives time for them to push as 5 very effectively. Look at that. Krolu and Hydra guarding this. Making sure that they don't get caught out. No, they're just going to give it to Hydra. And they're going to push with Thrall themselves. Muradin clearing the catapults first. And then will likely come down to join his team. Owl coming down. We'll see him pass as it reveals its pathway after it passes. So Muradin will be seen. Looks like he's just clearing the waves though. Whereas Thrall is coming to help his team. Here we go. Muradin is joining his team, coming to catch up. Krolu clearing the waves with this multi-shot. The roll will be able to help out with that forked lightning here. Chain lightning. Nice Owl does reveal everything that's happening here. Red team ready to defend. They have taken all 3 keeps with the help of minion waves. And now there are catapults in every lane. Top lane especially pushing really hard. But red team, they want at least 1 keep, going super aggressively. Valor with the nice Volt, able to survive. Dream Shot gets pulled in here. The Strafe doing a lot of damage. There's the Putrid Power from Lassive, kiting a huge amount of people through that Hyperion, doing a lot of damage. Uberim getting chasing down Lassive, trying to do as much damage as he can, but the Hardened Shield keeping him alive. The more catches Valor in the backline, sundering, hits Kraku here. In comes the Apocalypse, and it's going to get everyone. Palm keeps the Thrall alive. Falstad getting focused out by Nathan, and he gets annihilated. Thunder also taken out. Dream Shock in the background, though, doing a huge amount of damage to Benny, but everyone turns onto him. That giant kill from Raider going to come in a hell of a handy. There's the stun, and Raider comes in for the kill, and they're able to make it a 3-0, and they can now push for the end. Very well played by red team. Incredible fight. Kraku, who was even killed off, able to come back thanks to his soul count. Down goes Valor. That's a 4-0, and they're going to push for the end. Nearest player is going to be up in 36 seconds, and that is GG. Very well played by red team. Able to take the game. They already have catapults in the lane, and they will take this. So guys, this has been another EPL game. Thank you very much for watching. Red team takes the victory. Check out the players, see what teams they're on in the ESL. Watch a lot of these players will be on teams in the Spring Championship qualifier coming up this Saturday, so I definitely recommend watching them there. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you all next time.